Hey, what's up guys, TechTine here, and real quick, so I'm currently working on the final review for the OnePlus Nord N300 5G, but I thought I would share my thoughts as far as the performance goes for this phone, because it's important. Really, OnePlus has been known for performance for a while now, so let's see how this one holds up. Alright, so let's talk about paper specs first. So on paper you have the following specs. So this time around OnePlus decided to go with a MediaTek chip. So it has the MediaTek Dimensity 810, which is based on 8 cores, and it's a 6nm architecture. You also have 4 GB of RAM, 64 GB of storage, and 5000 milliamp hour battery, which is in line with a lot of phones at this price point. Now, first things first, I did a Geekbench, and these don't really give you accurate daily results, but numbers are always good. So you have a single core of 596 and a multi-core of 1780, which, if my memory recalls, it is slightly better than the OnePlus Nord N200, which is this phone's predecessor. Now, really, that doesn't really tell us much though. So scrolling down the list that Geekbench provides, I know mostly none of these phones, so I can tell you this, that it scores decent in the single core and the multi-core department, but it didn't really give me enough to go tell you guys information more about the performance. So the next test that I did is a 3D benchmark, and what this tells us, really, it helps us test the graphics performance of this chip and just gives us a better idea. So this phone scored a 369 in the Wildlife Extreme, that's what they call it. And basically what it tells me is that my score is better than 7% of the phones that they currently have on their list. Now, is that a bad thing? Kinda, I don't know. So what I decided to do is go to the compare section, and I wanted to look at the flagships real quick, and you can see like they're in the 2000s and 3000s. Yeah, this phone is nowhere near that. So what I also decided to do is look up the OnePlus Nord N200 to get a much better idea on how this phone is compared to it. So the Nord N200 scored a 287. This phone did score 367. So there's definitely a slight bump in performance. How significant it is, I'm also working on a comparison between the OnePlus Nord N200 and the N300, so stay tuned for that. But the next thing I want to do is the actual tests. So the day-to-day tests and the gaming performance. So let's do that. So now we're gonna put the stats to the side and do an actual day-to-day test. So here's my findings. When it comes to opening apps like your daily apps, the phone app, the messaging app, and your web browsing app, in this case Google Chrome, the camera app, things like that, it does it smoothly and it doesn't really give me any lag or anything like that. The gallery app, so everything on it opens smoothly, and like I said, it does have 4 GB of RAM, which may not seem like a lot, but it's enough for what you basically are going to do on this phone. I don't think a lot of people are going to push it to where you need 6 or 8 GB of RAM. I think that would be a little bit too extreme, and this would not be even the phone for you. So yeah, daily tasks, it does a good job. However, it did crash on me once or twice. So yeah, keep that in mind. So it's gonna crash from time to time. That's to be expected. Now, the graphics side of things, this phone does use a, let me see if I can remember it right. So it uses the Mali G57 MC2 graphics chip. And okay, performance wise, the frame rate on this phone was decent. Launching heavy gaming apps does take a little bit longer than I would like, but I have to keep in mind that this is a $230 phone. Now, as far as actual detail and graphics detail when you're playing the game, it's not that good, but again, that is to be expected on a phone that costs around $230. So nothing crazy here as far as the graphics details. Now, the gaming experience, on the other hand, was actually pretty smooth and pretty decent. It didn't crash on me the time that I tested it, but that could change in the future. Obviously, if you push it more, it's just gonna crash. That's just what it is. But overall, as far as the gaming performance in a heavy graphics game, it's gonna be fine. It's gonna do what it does for the price, of course. Okay, so this is kind of my summary about the gaming experience and just a general idea of the performance. Now, Let me know what you guys think. So, are you interested? Are you not interested? Is this a phone that you would consider buying? Let me know. And the full review is still in the works, so it should be coming out really soon. I also have a camera review on my unboxing and first impressions, which will be linked in the description below. You guys have been awesome. So, yeah, thank you so much for watching.